morning, class. Today we're going to be starting a new unit called the solar system. So first, before we do any learning, we're going to fill out this worksheet called the Anticipation Guide. And as you guys can see,
Anticipation Guide is a literacy strategy that is first used called the Readiness Strategy. This is the first strategy that will be used in our solar system unit. The teacher will provide the students with a worksheet of the Anticipation Guide. On the Anticipation Guide, there are different columns. In the middle column, there's a statement about the solar system. The first one, on the left, is for before the reading on the topic has even started. Underneath, the students can mark if they agree or disagree with the statement. As the students learn, or at the end of the unit, the students will fill out the last column of the Anticipation Guide if they agree or disagree with the statement. Underneath the statement, there is the bolded word evidence. Here, the students are allowed to fill out why they learned if the statement was correct or incorrect.
after I'm done reading the statement, you're going to either agree with the statement or disagree.
As the teacher explains the literacy strategy to the students, the teacher will read aloud all of the statements and give time for the students to answer, agree or disagree on his or her worksheet. After each classmate fills out the worksheet separately, they will meet in small groups to talk about what they thought. After their groups are done meeting, the class will have a group discussion and debate as to why they answered what they did. At the end of the unit, the teacher will collect all of the worksheets and grade them. The thoughts or statements that the teacher puts in the Anticipation Guide are going to be connected to what the student is learning about in the science unit. The Anticipation Guide has the students start thinking about space even before they technically learned anything in the unit yet. The statement on the Anticipation Guide challenges the students' thinking.
Great job. So now after we are done with our whole unit, we're going to go to the last column and we'll fill that out. We're going to, as you see again, it's on your sheets, it'll say afterward, and you'll have agree or disagree. And then you'll check them off as you learn the things, or at the end of the unit, either or. And then you're going to write agree or disagree. And then on your sheets, underneath the statement, it says evidence. So that's where you're going to write if you agree or disagree and why, as to why you're correct, the statement was correct or incorrect. So now, after we've done that, we're going to learn about the vocabulary that we're going to be learning about that I want you guys all to know by the end of the unit. First, we have the moon. The moon is objects made of ice or rocks that orbit a planet. And we've all seen the moon before. Stars, a huge ball of hot gas that makes heat and light. And we can all agree that we've seen the lovely stars in the nice summer nights. Then we have sun. The sun is our star. Planets, an object made of gas or rocks that orbit a star. And then orbit, the path of an object follows around another object. So I want you guys to keep these vocabulary terms in mind throughout the unit, and we will have them up on the board to reference.
QAR is an interactive comprehension strategy to be used after the readiness strategy has been implemented. QAR helps students to understand what they are reading. Students are required to rely on higher levels of thinking as well as the more basic literal levels of thinking. The letters QAR stand for question, answer, relationship. There are 4 kinds of question-answer relationships. The first one is at the literal level of thinking. It is called the right there question. The answers to these questions are found in the text. The next 2 questions are at the inferential level of thinking. Think and search questions. The answers are found in several places in the book, and then they are combined to make an answer. The author and you questions are based on information in the text, but the student is required to relate it to their own experience. Although the answer is not in the text, the student must read it in order to answer the question. And the last one is at the applied level of thinking. It is called On My Own, and these questions do not require the students to have read the passage in the book, but they must use their background or prior knowledge to answer the question. The benefits of QAR is that it empowers students to think about the text they're reading and to use it in extended learning as well. It inspires them to think creatively and work cooperatively while challenging them to use literal and higher level thinking. The method that the teacher will use when teaching a QAR lesson is this. This lesson may be taught to individuals or a group. Explain to students that there are 4 types of questions, define each question, and give an example. Read a short excerpt aloud to your students. Have predetermined questions that you will ask after you finish reading. When you have finished reading, read the questions aloud to the student and talk the kids through the thinking process used on how you decided which type of question that you had to answer. Show your students how to find the information to answer your questions, such as from the book only, from your own experience, etc., or a combination of the previous. After you've modeled your thinking process for each type of questions, have students read another excerpt using another student as a partner to decide which type of question is that question and how to find the answer.
Good morning, class. Today we're going to be learning about the strategy called RAFT.
RAFT is a content literacy strategy that helps students extend their learning. Students are able to learn the important parts of writing, such as audience, main idea, and organization. RAFT stands for role, audience, form, and topic. When using this strategy, students are able to write creatively about what they have just learned. Role refers to the character that the students will assume. For example, after learning a unit about the solar system, the students could assume the voice of Pluto.
Yes?
Moon.
We could use the moon. We could maybe also write as Pluto, who's no longer a planet. Or maybe the sun and the stars.
Audience refers to whom the students are writing. In our example, Pluto will be writing to the other solar systems who want a new planet.
Anybody else? Yes?
Neighbor planets.
Okay. How about also the people on Earth could be writing to somebody, or we could be writing to people on Earth. Okay.
Form refers to the style of writing that the student will produce. In our example, Pluto will be writing a wanted ad.
Write maybe a letter or a song. Any other ideas? Yes?
Poem.
Okay. How about one more?
A newspaper article?
Okay. And maybe we could write a wanted ad. Okay.
The topic refers to what the student is writing about. Pluto will be writing about the solar system it wants to live in.
Itself, or pollution. How about any other ideas? Yes?
It's like where the planet wants to live.
Okay. How about one more?
The moon doesn't want visitors.
Okay, no more visitors. Okay, so I want each of you to look at what we wrote up on the board, and you're going to pick a role. You're going to pick an audience, you're going to pick a form, and you're going to pick a topic.
The writing does not have to be long, but it should contain information that the student has learned during the lesson or unit.